Q4, it's the biggest event of the year for any Amazon seller. So how do you actually prepare for it? Well, we're going to talk about that in this video. Hi, my name's Simon. I'm a 6-figure Amazon seller, and today we're going to be talking about how to actually prepare for Q4. Because those that don't prepare to fail. So let's jump straight into it, guys. So, firstly, what is Q4? Well, Q4 is October, November, December, and this is the biggest sales period for any retailer, online or in-store or whatever. You know, obviously we've got Christmas in December, so the 3 months leading up to Christmas are literally just insane when it comes to retail. And honestly, guys, you can make a full-time living just from December alone, let alone all of Q4. These sales volumes are enormous, 10 times, 20 times what they are normally. So even more than that, depending on what category. So my first tip is to start clearing out all your old stock in sort of July, August time, maybe even sooner, depending on how much stock you've got. Now, what we're going to do is we want to clear out as much old stock as possible, especially things like summer and seasonal items that we were selling in the summer periods, and now that time is coming to an end, and we want to get as much capital on tap as possible that we can spend on Q4 items. So start thinking about clearing out your items maybe in June, July, August, maybe at the latest, because it depends on how much stock you've got and what kind of items they are, but you might want to just think about clearing that out, getting that money in, because obviously, if you've got 100 of a certain item, it might take a while to sell through, and then it takes 20 days to hit your bank account. So yeah, just need to think about clearing that stock out and having as much money as possible ready for Q4. So the second tip is to identify what sites you're going to be doing most of your sourcing from. You want to have a very targeted list of sites that you're going to be sourcing from. And ideally this will come from previous history where you've ordered items and you know where the best items and sales are. And what I'll talk about is a few good categories in a later sort of tip, so stay tuned for that. Now, the third tip is, depending on how much capital you've got, you want to start sourcing really in August and September. I mean, I think about Q4, even in January, to be quite honest with you. I'm thinking if that's a good item for Q4. Now, I don't actually hold many items for Q4 that I buy in January, but there's something I'm keeping in mind. Maybe, put it in the memory bank, write it down somewhere to maybe look up to buy that kind of thing. Look out for that item that's on sale more towards the middle of the year, towards the end of the year. You just don't know. You just want to start getting yourself prepared and start sourcing items that you think are going to be good for Q4. And again, I'll mention those categories a little bit later on that do very well. And I'm probably missing out on a bunch. But in general, though, everything does better at Christmas. So start thinking about sourcing early on, getting those items in, start getting them sent into Amazon nice and early. Seeing if you get any sales, for example, and it could give you a good idea, a little early hint on what might do very well for Christmas. So if something does well in August, September, and it's a Christmas item, then it might do extremely well when it comes to October, November, December. Now, before we go on to tip 4, where I talk about some of the categories you should source, I just want to mention quickly my Discord group. There's a link in the description. I run a free Amazon FBA Discord group. You're welcome to come on there and join, hang out, ask me questions, chat with other people. It's a great community, so join for free. It's always going to be free, link in the description. So tip 4, some of the categories that you can source for Q4, and those are toys. Obviously, toys and things aimed at kids are going to do extremely well at Christmas. Obviously, parents buy toys and stuff for Christmas, go under the tree, so they do extremely well. Gift sets, so it could be cosmetic gift sets, beauty gift sets, any kind of gift set does extremely well. And this actually moves on to another point as well. Just go into the supermarkets, although you might only find out later in the day because supermarkets only stock these things in like October, November, December. But you can go and see what kind of items the supermarkets are trying to promote, and you'll find there's a bunch of perfume gift sets, beauty gift sets, all kind of gift sets. So gift sets do extremely well. 2 more categories, perfumes and aftershaves do obviously extraordinarily well, and the prices of those can go through the absolute roof when it comes to December and even just Q4 in general. So those are just a few categories off the top of my head. There are probably a bunch more categories that do extremely well in Christmas. I can't think of them right now, but that just gives you an idea. But in general, guys, everything does better at Christmas. Clothing, winter stuff, anything that's, electronics obviously is another good category as well. everything does better at Christmas. It's just some things do better than others. So that leads me on to my fifth tip, and that is you don't just have to source items that are specifically for Q4. You can sell anything that you normally sell throughout the year. So let's say you've got a replen for a specific item. As long as that item isn't very seasonal, let's say it's some, I don't know, sun cream, for example. As long as that item is something that people buy year round, then you want to try and restock as many of that as possible. Well, obviously look at the keeper charts, and you can sell that in Q4 as well, and you'll find that you're probably getting 3, 4, 5, 10 times more the sales volumes. So you don't just have to source items that were specifically for Q4. You can sell normal items during Q4, and those sales volumes will increase as well, because people like anything and everything for Christmas. So, you know, whether it's a pair of socks or whatever, really, you know, people buy all sorts of stuff at Christmas. So yeah, just restock any replens you've got. Try and get a good amount of stock in there. Be ready to reorder as well. And yeah, don't neglect any of your existing items that you sell. So tip number 6 is to make sure you're very well prepared in terms of all your shipping supplies, especially if you do this prep in-house. So I remember in my first Q4, I ordered a bunch of boxes from a well-known, place that most people order boxes from, and they just didn't ship out for months and months. And in the end, they blamed me for not chasing it with them, even though I did. So I, make sure you've got all the boxes, all the tape, all your SKU labels, all your shipping labels, everything you're going to need to do your Amazon prep, your poly bags, because a lot of that stuff might become harder to get. It might have longer lead times. And you don't want to get caught out with stock stuck in your home that you can't actually send into Amazon. So make sure you're well stocked on all of your supplies. The 7th tip is to make sure you keep your prices nice and high. Now, I made a mistake in the last Q4, and that is I actually ended up selling out a lot of my really good items in sort of October and the end of November. Now, I was still making really nice profits on these items, but actually I could have made even more money if I just kept my prices really high. It might be that if you've got a repricer and you've set your minimum price to maybe 30% as normal, well, maybe set it to 40 or 50% minimum, and you might get some slightly slower sales in October, November, but you're going to really see those sales come in December. So now obviously every product and every listing is different, but yeah, just make sure you do the research, look at the keeper charts, and just see what prices went up, what prices these items sold for in December period. And you can still find to get some sales in October, November, but December is the main month, and if you can hold out for those really good prices, it all depends on how much of this stock you can get, guys. If you've only got 10 of an item and you can only ever get 10 and you can never restock it, well, you may as well hold out and try and sell that in December for the highest price possible. If this is something you can replenish and you can get lots of it, then sure, lower your prices down and sell throughout October, November, December, and get as many sales as possible. Now, before we go on to my final 3 tips, I am going to mention my sponsor for this video, Profit Protector Pro. Now, Profit Protector Pro is the best repricer I know about in the UK for Amazon FBA sellers. It has made me literally over £2,000 in extra profit since I've been using it, and that's been about 8 weeks now. And actually, a few people were discussing Profit Protector Pro today in my Discord group, and I'll post these comments on the screen that they actually mentioned. So if you're on the fence about Profit Protector Pro, here are some actual testimonials from people that I've recommended it to, and they've been very happy with it. And the reason I like it so much is it's super easy to set up. It's got some amazing algorithmic strategies you can use for all your listings to either boost sales, boost profits. It's got a bunch of different ones, and to be honest, it's just a great piece of software. So if you want to sign up to that, guys, check out the link in the description. Now, the 8th tip I'm going to give you is to incorporate more retail arbitrage into your business, even if you're not a big RA person like me. I don't do a huge amount of RA. You should definitely start incorporating this into your sourcing for Q4. Now, one of the best products that I bought last year was a gift set at a well-known supermarket that a lot of people ended up sleeping on. And if I hadn't caught COVID, I would have done the entire UK and cleared out all the stock. And, there's some amazing opportunities in all the supermarkets, and, it could be Tesco's, Asda, B&M, or anywhere basically that's selling these items. They often have really good items, really good prices. And essentially, if you find a really good one, you can hire a van and do an entire national clear out, basically, where you just go to every store in the country and clear out all the items because you're going to make so much money. So don't sleep on retail arbitrage for Q4. The 9th tip is to don't don't underestimate how big Q4 is going to be, and especially December. The sales volumes are enormous. They're 10, 20, 50 times more than normal. And just make sure you buy enough stock of an item. So if you normally buy 10 of an item, maybe try and buy 30, 40, 50 of an item. Obviously, do your research on Keeper and just check out the BSR, the best-selling rank for the items you're planning on selling, and just check out what they went down to in December. And you might find that an item that maybe sells 20 or 30 times in any given month might sell 300 times in December. So yeah, don't underestimate it, guys. Even if I'm saying this, you're still going to underestimate it. I'm going to end up underestimating it. I'm going to forget items that I buy, and I think I've got enough, and I'm going to sell them out way too soon. So yeah, stock up, guys, on the good items. Don't underestimate it. And yeah, it's going to be amazing. And the 10th tip is to make sure you get all your items sent in promptly. The check-in times can be very slow for Q4. Obviously, everyone's sending their items into Amazon. Now, obviously, Amazon do hire extra staff and try and mitigate this problem, but there's no guarantees. Actually, last Q4 wasn't too bad, but we're all getting ready and prepared just in case the check-in times are really slow. So making sure you're sending items in promptly, nice and early, and always restocking as well. Anyway, guys, hopefully you found that useful. Hopefully this starts you thinking about Q4. Guys, I cannot overstate how important Q4 is. So right now I'm on about £43,000 for the year, and that is from January, February, March, April, and all of May, 5 months. Guys, I'm looking to hopefully make between 20 and 30,000 in December alone. You know, obviously that's just a estimate, but those are kind of the figures I'm aiming for. So I'm aiming for 2 or 3 times my normal monthly, and that just shows you can make an entire year's salary, a normal person's salary, just in December, guys. So the opportunity is there. You just need to be prepared for it, and hopefully this video helps you prepare. If you like this video, guys, please leave a like below. Please leave me a comment. I really appreciate seeing the comments. It's awesome. If you want to ask me a question, you can either leave me a comment or just join my free Discord group. 100% free. Come on there, ask a question. I'm always answering people's questions, helping people out. And yeah, guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one.